Hello, everybody, and welcome to it. This is it, round 6, the final round of the WEC Championship here at Sim Racing Online. We are going to be treated to a night race here at Bahrain International Circuit in Sakar, Bahrain. Get ready, fasten your seatbelts. We are just finishing up the last few minutes of practice, and we're going to be heading into quali. We got some epic battles going on here. We do have a few dropped out and opened up some spots for lots of drivers to take over in acoustic positions. We also have a couple drivers swapped. We have a Matteo Dantella. He has moved to the hypercars from the GT3, opening up another slot in the GT3 class. So stay tuned for that. We will see exactly what's going to happen here as this whole thing unfolds. We have about 3 minutes to kill here while we are waiting to go to quali. So get to follow some of your favorite drivers here. There is Matteo Donatella in that Ferrari coming in just to finish up the last of these races in the hypercar. An idea what some of this stuff looks like. This epic circuit of Bahrain. Bahrain has individually about 4 different straightaways here on this track. We have the initial start-finish straight, which is the longest of the 4. And then from turn 3 to turn 4, we have the second straight coming into that hairpin turn 4 section. And then the middle sector 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way through turn 12 is the middle section. It is the twisty part. It does, however, have a nice straight section in between turns 10 and 11, which is our third straight. As we get a look at Jacob Smythe there in his beautiful flame drop car. Then as we round turn 13, heading down into sector 3, we have yet another straight heading into turn 14 with that little bit of a right-hand double kind of a kink. It's really kind of tricky turn. That last 14-15 section, you got to get it right, just right to be able to get on the gas to use that beautiful 1140 foot straightaway 15 through turn 1. You can get a look at some of the guys here. GT3 class is also out here tightening up for practice. Hytree's in the pit. Jones is sitting in the pit. Granatovich, he is the GT3 team leader right now, or individual leader, I should say. There is Stefan Winham in that Audi. And Mr. Wood and his Dr. Pepper, he is also in the pits. And who is this in the Ferrari? Well, let's just have a look. It's Ollie Batson. Taking a quick lap around as we wind down. We got about a minute to go to quali starts. I wanted to point out Barrett Erickson, who's in the pits, and Hytree in the pits. These guys are battling for the team championship for GT3. I'll show you the points in a minute here between quali and the race start. But I wanted to touch base with you that 1 point separates the team championship for GT3, and that battle will be between Hytree and Erickson. They are the only 2 representatives of those teams here today. I think, well, Ed Jones, I believe, is also BVR, so they might have a second chance here to get a hold of that championship. Let me look at my Ed Jones is indeed from Bad Voices Racing. Johnny Gutierrez, who was up in the points until his retirement after 4 rounds of this series. He boosted between him and Hytree. They had the lead over Bad Voices, but now each team has 30 points for Flying Crowbar Racing and 31 for Bad Voices. So the outcome is going to determine that. Black Cat Motorsports, with the 2 battling leaders of the LM class, is of course we're looking at Nick Westy and Robin Taylor. These guys have been battling out the whole time. It's been an epic battle for these guys. Back and forth, back and forth. They are on the same team, but man, it is some really fun racing to watch as we are getting ready to move into the qualification section. So what we are going to do now is take a look to see who comes out when the clock goes. 15-minute session. I believe it is private, so we're not going to see the cars on track. However, I will turn on this handy dandy little track map here so you can kind of get an idea who's where and what's going on. And we'll see who's out. Looks like Taylor's out. Let's see if I can find these individuals. There we go. Excuse me. Look at this. Sorry for the volume difference here. It's going to be all like that all day. Let's get a cocktail view. Uh-oh, we got a little pause. Oh, this is John Vandergeest coming back into the race. So Vandergeest has rejoined. That was what the little, how you doing, R Factor 2? Let me lag you for a sec while they come in. So these guys are on their out laps. Good to see Tony Televitier back in the event too, as he had that rough go, almost so close to a victory 2 weeks ago. And he had that most unfortunate drive-through penalty, which was an R Factor 2 gimmick. We just don't know what's going to happen sometimes. He was off the track to avoid a wreck, and the game gave him a drive-through. So not really that fair. But that's sim racing for you. Never seems to fail. Okay, this is the beginning of a hot lap here for Mr. Taylor. Excuse me. So he's starting that. Let's see where Televitier is. Televitier is coming across the line now too. So he has just started his hot lap. And that's going to put Westy as well. And there is Westy. So the top three guys in the LMH class pretty much are racing for the pole right now. I want to point out that Westy, Taylor, and Daskabala and Madej, he is in third place in the hypercar. Freddie Hellson fourth, Costas Cantosaurus fifth, Vandergeest is sixth, and Jacob Smythe in seventh. Delvitier is in eighth, but he has just been robbed. That doesn't relate to his competitiveness in this series. Let's see, Costas should be right behind him. There is Costas, so it's interesting with the closed view. Costas is purple in sector 1 so far. But let's check back with Taylor. He is the first one out. He should be around in that sector, as you can see by the track back that he is in sector 3 right now. Coming out of that technical section into this third lost straight here. You can see they really got to get that right as he's using up those tires. I'm sure they're on the softs for quali. This is the third of the 4 straights right here. Then into this interesting right hand. It's a kind of a double righty, you got to just, there, that little kink right there. If you get it just right, you can just get on the gas early. And let's see what kind of time we're looking at. He's purple with a 1:33.8, and that is the time to beat. And let's see, where's my mouse? Telvite should be right behind him. 1:34.7, and then here comes Westy. Oh, Westy he's tanked it in. He's gone into the pits. So where is Smythe? Is coming through. Some 3 over. Ready? Freddie's out amongst the turns, as so to say. Currently the 7th car, if you find him on the track map. Excuse me. He's actually in sector 1. No, that's not him. All right, never mind. In third place so far. Very good. 33.6. Nicely done. And let's get down to the GT class here. Let's see what's happening here. There is High Tree. And that nice Kansas City Chiefs skins. Westy's still in the pits. And then, of course, points leader Roman Granatovich. He's out here on his first time lap. Heading down into that deadly sector 2. This is the most technical part of the track with that super tight lefty there. Opening them up to that third straightaway. There he is now. Takes a little off. It is purple in sector 2. Let's check back up at the top here. Let's see. Taylor's in the pits. Freddie Howell is out on another ripper. He just last time, what was his last time? Was a 39, so not his best. Let's goes to Silva. We got to get him. He's not in the pits. Vandergeest, who jumped in late, is out there on a timed lap right now, so he will be coming through. Currently showing an 8th position as he makes that tricky segment down to the main straight. And he's calling it a lap, pulling it into the pits. So much for that. So Westy and LaBelle are still both in the pit. I wanted to get a look at De Silva just because of this skin. This guy's skinning technique. He's really good on the paint, as are the MRG guys. Randy Merrick, who I believe is in here as well. Where is Randy? Yeah. So get a good look at these cars. Really nice paint jobs. Both these guys. Look at that. That's some good looking stuff. All right. And then here is a look at Randy Merrick and his beautiful corn-fed skin. Not what I'm looking for. There we go. Does that say Castaway? Yeah, it does on there. I mean, he's pulling into the pits too. So good look at some really nice custom skins we have in this race. Okay, meanwhile, Barrett Erickson looking pretty good in that McLaren in the foot snipping pigskin. Classic team from way back in the RF2 days, RF1 days. These guys are great. Bad Boys Racing has been around for decades. Really great group of guys who really like being associated with those guys, being able to race with these guys all these years. I'm really old, so I've been around a long time. And is High Tree out there? No, High Tree's parking it. Dr. Pepper and Millwood, he's out there. That Dr. Pepper skin. I don't see his partner. Or is he? No, there's LaBelle. So Neil's teammate, I don't think is here today. There's Stephen Winham on that Audi. I think he might be the only Audi in the field today. Meanwhile, back at the top, Talavitier is out on a ripper. So let's see, he is purple in sector 1. To negotiate the extraction. Woohoo! All right, Tony. Let's see what he can do. He's green in sector 2, so he is going to better his time. He's already in second, just under a second behind Taylor's beautiful time of 1:33, and he drops it down to 1.196 off of Taylor's speedy pace. Let's see, is Westy back out there yet? No, Westy is not out there, but he has put in the third fastest lap. So he has bring himself out of the bottom. Let's see who else is out there. Freddie Howell. Freddie's on his out lap. How about Smythe? Smythe is just starting a time lap. Vandergeest is out there. Let's see where he's at. And he is also about mid-sector, and he is green in sector 2, but yellow in sector 1 as he grabs a little bit of dirt there in the desert here. Looks like the sun is coming up, and the lights are turning off here at the end of quality. We got 5 minutes left. So a rare daytime event. Usually most of the Bahrain races are in the evening. Great circuit, though, this Bahrain. Oh, as you see, the lights are they going off? Are they coming on? Heavens to Betsy, what is going on? We got a light show. This was for sponsorship reason. Formula One Motor Racing had a racing event. It was the first race took place at the Bahrain Circuit on the 4th of April in 2004. And of course, it made history as the first Formula One Grand Prix to be held in the Middle East. It was given the award for Best Organized Grand Prix by the FIA. That just goes to show you how together those Middle Easterns are. They take pride in everything they do, and they put a beautiful show on for Formula One. So, they've also had the second, third, or fourth race of the Formula One calendar. Even in 2006, they swapped places with the traditional season opener, Australia. It was pushed back due to a clash with the Commonwealth Games, so they got to go first there. And they had the opening race of the 210 season. And in that race, they actually drove the endurance course, which is 6.299 kilometers or 3.9 miles, a little bit longer than what we are racing today. So, kind of some interesting facts there, fun facts about Bahrain. So, there you have it. Let's check back with these guys. Let's see, High Tree's still in the pits. Ericsson is still out. He's going to cross the line. Oh, outlap. So he's going to start another toggle. He is holding the second place right now. Jones is in the pits. Ollie's out there in the Ferrari, currently in fifth. Taking that hairpin. This is where Sector 2 becomes Sector 3 once you get through all this technical stuff. That's the last little bit of straight there. Heads up the hill. That turn, the transition is between 12 and 13 where Sector 3 comes in. Long sectors, long track. Oh, and he takes a little bit of an excursion. I don't know if the stewards are going to like that or not. But it is done as we are under 3 minutes remaining here. Very nicely done. Let's check with the leader of the GT3s, Roman Granadovic, who's right behind him. And that 1:58 is the fastest GT3 time. So some 20 plus seconds difference between the GT3s and the prototypes here today. Let's see, Talavitier is out there. He's on an outlap, so he's going to cross and begin his attempt to try and take pole. He is only some 0.196 off of this, and Westy's about a second behind him, so let's see what Tony can do. He does have that, the Maiden of Finland skin on there. Just guided him through the last two. Kind of let him down last week with that kind of false penalty that he got that ruined his chances for a win. All right, this is it, Sector 3. He's yellow and yellow, so this is not going to be the lap for him. Westy's in the pits, so he is not a threat. Costas, however, is still out there, so I don't believe Tony's going to help his cause here unless he has an amazing Sector 3, which he does not. So 36.52, not his best. Let's check on Costas, who's just starting. He just crossed the line with 20 seconds to go, so this will be his attempt. Now let's see, is Tony going to stay out? Let me jump right back to him. So I think he's starting another lap. So he did cross the line, and there's 9 seconds left. So anybody crossing it at this point in time is their lap is going to count. Where is Mateo? Mateo's out there. He's green in Sector 1. Just checking these guys on their last laps. Ericsson and Granatovich for the GT3s are pretty much built-in position there. Heitry's just a second off in third for that battle. But everybody's in the pits except for Roman and Barrett. So they're just probably going for fast laps at this point. All right, let's check on Televitier. Oh, that's it for Televitier. His quali is over. Not bad, though. Starting from second position, he'll be all right. So let's follow Costas here. He is green in Sector 1. Just crossing the line now, coming into Sector 3. This last tricky right-hander to floor it. Kind of lost a little bit of time there in Sector 2, but that's okay. He is pretty much guaranteed that fourth position, and he does not move up. So there you have it. Let me mark this. Starting order is set. So there you have it, Taylor, Televitier, Wesley. Let's go and see if this thing works. Session results. Is it going to show session results? Nope. Oh, wait, we'll go to quality. Hello, how you doing? Get clicking there. There we go. It's the page I'm looking for. So there it is in your class. There are the top 10 in the LMH. Jump to the next page, and you see the last of the 11th belt, and then you see the GT3s with Granatovich, Ericsson, Heitry, Wood, Batson, Winham, and Jones, and that is your session results. So good on you, everybody. Let's hanging out here, try and get a shot here of this warm-up session, which is going to be about 5 minutes just for these guys to get out. Now, I'm not sure. We'll have to find out if it's a night race or a day race or how you doing race. Count down the minutes here for this 5-minute warm-up. I'm sure some guys will be taking part. They're going to fill the tanks up, put the hard tires on, I would assume. Guys are heading out. Matteo in that Ferrari. Jones is out there finally, and the other foot-sniffing pig teammate. Doing his patented. He likes to just wait out qualification. He sits in the back and puts his way through the carnage. It's kind of a bottom feeder move. I race kind of the same way when the competition is really, really tough like these guys. Sometimes it's best to just hang back and watch what happens and just drive your way through it all, which is not a bad way to go. You can be pretty successful in this finishing. Kind of taking it out left there. Check out Merrick in the corn-fed. Let's see Merrick's other two teammates, which are Freddie Hal and Jacob Smythe, are both in the pits still, so they're sitting it out. LaBelle, who joined, is out there still. Driver box. So lots of Porsches in the LMH class, with the exception of the Tella, who is in that Ferrari. I don't know why there's not more Ferraris, but got one, and there it is. Okay, Smythe is now back out there. So this is Merrick's MRG teammate. And these beautiful skins, these MRG guys always show up with some really great skins. Good looking stuff, guys. And Freddie Hal, there's his skin. You kind of get a look. really beautiful, beautiful paints on these cars. Very nicely done. Talvitie out there with the Maiden of Finland. Excuse me. Just getting the warm-ups going, taking their out laps, or the practice laps. I wonder if it was going to show us. Get a quick look at the tower here. If I switch this to tire type, is it going to give us any love? Let's see. Okay, so medium. Talvite's on the mediums. Catasaurus is on the hards. Mike is on the softs. Dantella's on the medium. And Merrick's on the medium of the cars that are out. So that's your LMH class. And Granatovich, the only one out, is on the mediums in the GT3. Everybody else is waiting it out, as this is the last throws of practice warm-up. Last minute and a half here, so to say. Who else haven't we had a good look at here? Who's out on track now? Costa. Got a good looking skin too. Brakes are glowing hot. Interested to see how the tires wear as we go. 90 minutes of racing here for this last final round 6 of this championship. It's been really a fun championship so far. Been a lot of action, a lot of heated action. A lot of guys, it's just like, it's so difficult sometimes, multi-class racing, and people get frustrated, and I totally get it. And, you know, sometimes you just got to get away, take a break before something stupid happens. And a lot of these guys, pro sim racers, just at least, you know, sometimes it gets the best of you. Sometimes it's just time to turn the page. As we witnessed here a couple of races ago, it was really rough going. And, yeah, here we are now. Left a lot of gaps open, though, so we don't know what's going to happen. Oh, as we spend a little bit of rubber there, Costas is leaving his mark. So, nicely done. As warm-up has come to an end. Up with a corn-fed car of Randy Merrick there as the clock has ran out, and we are now going to hear the most famous words in sim racing. Get us a nice view here. There we go. There's the circuit. All right, let's get this out of here. We are ready for the start. Fasten your seatbelt. Put your
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Non-essential personnel leave the grid now. Very nice. All right. So we are going to have a manual formation lap. Remember how that works. The light goes green and they tool around at about 100 kilometers. The race begins at the last turn. So with that going, let's take a look at the starting order as they start that. Robert Taylor first. Tony Talvitie was second on pole. Nick Westy in third. Costas Kantasaurus in fourth. These guys will be moseying up the lineup. Freddie Hill in fifth. Jacob Smythe in sixth. John Vandergeest holding seventh. Mateo Dantella starting eighth. And then we have Randy Merrick, Kills De Silva, and Michael LaBelle. And that ends the LMH class. And then we start with the GT3s with Roman Granatovich holding that full spot. How you go, Mr. Lag? Erickson second. Mark Heitree in third. Neil Wood in fourth. Ollie Pattinson in fifth. And then bringing up the rear will be Stephen Winham and Ed Jones. So, very good. On our formation lap. And that's a daylight race. There is your top three. There is the GT3 class. You can see just on the track back there, already getting separated pretty good. There is the gap to the tail end. As they are going through sector 2. There is Westy. Freddie Hell, all right, a couple cars back. Make their way through sector 2. All right, one straight to go, one turn to go as they head towards 14 and 15, where the race will start. It's going to be something to behold at turn 1 here. These guys are going to be at top speed as they're getting ready to floor it. I believe they floor it right out of the turn, or do they start at the line? I think they go, and we are, I believe, are racing. Just listen to the throats of those babies. They're opened up. Here they come. They're staying in order so far. Top 3 get thrown to turn 1, and is going for the look at the outside. LBTA stays it clean. Westy's going for that outside look, but nope. Let's see what happens back here. These guys are making it through. Vandergeest, Smythe there. Are they making it beautiful? Let's jump back to the GT3s as they are underway. Steve Erickson in second, Heitree in third, following Roman as they get through there. Looks pretty good. Woody, Dr. Pepper, these guys have all made it through. Let's jump back up to this because we've got some pushing going on. WTA is all over Taylor in lap 1. This is what it's going to be for 90 minutes. He's looking to the inside. They're going to have a little kiss. Oh, and he's to the inside advantage. Is Westy trying to take advantage of this? Talvitie gets a little bit wide. Westy. Look at it, those maidens of Finland. Is he going for the inside pass? On the brakes, and he throws it. He gets it all wrong and sends it to the outside. Pretty good position, though. Talvitie is coming back and takes it back. Well, Costas trying to take advantage of that, as well as Freddie Hell. Right behind this, and during all this, Taylor is getting away because these guys are battling out. Some fierce knuckles out already in that battle for second place. My gosh. The maidens of Finland are holding their own as they come around for lap 1. They're coming down the straight. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, we got nothing but a pause. That's what it is. Oh, lap time. Don't need that. Here we go. And let's bring up the tower. These guys are just fighting and duking as they're changing, as Westy had taken that spot, and then Talvitie is on the inside. He's in the spot. He has to send a little bit wide. That's going to open the door again for Talvitie, who takes it. Nice move by both of these guys. I don't know how they're keeping themselves out of the sand. What a crazy match. Meanwhile, back here, Heitree and Erickson. Remember, this battle is for the team championship. There we go. I'm turning that race update off. Holy smokes, what a fight going on there. All right, looks like these guys have spread it out a little bit now. Talvitie. There's Taylor, who's running away. He's got 3+ seconds on him, 3.5 seconds now. As the second, third, and fourth place drivers battle, Taylor is just running away. These guys better regroup. Look in the back of the field here is De Silva and Dentella. Dentella takes it off track a little bit. De Silva trying to take advantage. And Merrick behind him. Merrick got a little bit messy at the start. He is down a couple positions, but that's okay. Long way to go. Meanwhile, Heitree all over Erickson. If he could just stay with him, he needs to finish in front of Erickson to get that 1 point difference handled. So that's going to be an interesting battle, as we got Jones and Batman battling too, that McLaren versus Ferrari battle going on in the back of the GT3. So lots of war happening right now. It's De Silva and Mateo back to the LMHs. Chrome don't get you home unless you sell it off. Proven to be working really good for him today. All right, let's go to the tippy end. You can see the gaps. Televitia has about almost 2 seconds to make up, and Westy is only about 1.3 behind in third. You see, Kyle, we got another little, somebody went wide there. That is just a tricky technical part of the track. I'm going to have a lot of action there as we see these guys coming through. There go the leaders. There is Freddie Hell, followed by teammate Jacob Smythe. Vandergeest right back of these guys. So he's got a little bit of time to make up there. He's about 3 seconds back. But nonetheless, he's back there. Meanwhile, the GT3s are hanging tight together. You can see the Dr. Pepper sitting in fourth. The fifth place Ferrari. Oh, we got a little bit of love tap from Hightree. Or was that Jones? That was Jones giving Batman a little bit of a love tap there. And Stefan Wyndham got a good view of that. Meanwhile, Ericsson, Granatovich, and Hightree all hanging out together there, keeping that battle going. Get a look how it's happening here from Mark Hightree's point of view in the cockpit. All the top three are within a half second of each other in the GT3 class. Very nicely done as they make their way through. All right. Meanwhile, Chalavitier holding second place. You can see Taylor just ahead of him there. He closed that gap down a little bit until he's got a little bit of action going on. I'm telling you, these guys are going to burn through some rubber at this rate. There's Westy. Freddie Howell currently in fifth. As you see the leaders getting out of the way. Meanwhile, American De Silva having a little bit of a scuff here. Randy's looking for a way. He's going to take this up. This inside turn. De Silva's holding his ground. Got himself in position from the inside. Looks like Merrick was trying for maybe the over-under, but just did not have quite enough room there to get that done. A good fight going on right back down here in the back end of this LMH class. Merrick and De Silva. So these guys should be coming up on the GT3s now. As this is the tippy top, and you can see Taylor just coming into the picture now. There are your top three, and here comes Taylor and Talavitier. We're going to catch him here on this little bit of straight. So he's trying to fish his way through the GT3s. Lots of room here. As you can see, Ericsson giving room. Hightree giving room. Now Granatovich is up there. He does go to the inside line, which is got to get out of the way of this battle. Holy smokes, these guys are really tight here for this LMH as they get through yet again. And here comes, woo! This is some yellow. We got a yellow moving off. It's off. The LaBelle, might have been Michael LaBelle. He's back away from the pack. But here's the battle with Mateo, Vandergeest, and Merrick De Silva. So Merrick trying to work his way up. He's in the points now as these guys are duking it out. Tella holding his own, but meanwhile over the top, these guys are still so tight at the top. The top three are all within a second now. And Talavitier is giving him a run, and he's got the inside move. He's going to take over. We have a lead change. Westy's trying to follow suit. Taylor's going to go for the overrunner, but this is another quick lefty right here that's going to put Taylor on the inside, and Talvitier loses it. A little bit of loose back end. That's going to let Taylor back in the lead until Talvitier. And Westy takes over on top. Now these guys are coming together. Taylor regains the lead. I think at one point in time, each one of them was in the lead for at least 5 seconds or so. As Westy looks like a ship going through some rough seas there, heading into that. And Costas is just sitting in the background right there in the purple, just waiting to make a move. He gives Talvitier a little bit of a love tap. No harm, no foul. I think we're in good shape as Talvitier is all over the back end. He's looking to the inside. Takes the better of it. My goodness. And now they separate again. So you can see. Oh, Talvitier saved it. Another brilliant save by Talvitier. It might cost him a spot though, but oh, let's see. He's going to have some flat spots. Yep, that's going to cost him a spot. So Cantasaurus gets through. But Talvitier, that was definitely a code brown for Talvitier. Good heavens. Just to still be in it, it's good. That couple of brilliant saves. He's looking to the inside for Costas. He's not done. These guys are not done. Meanwhile, High Tree and Erickson tighten it up down here. Let's get back to this battle. Pretty spread out, but we have Merrick has made his way through. Dantella is now on the tail end of Vandergeest with a mirror full of Merrick there. And Talvitier now caught back up to Costas. And we're going to see what happens here. Yes, yes. I'm telling you, man, it snowballs no glory with these cars. There's just so much power and so much downforce that, you know, it's tempting to go for it, or you should probably think twice, but with all the downforce and the power, I mean, what do they got to lose? This is the last race. We're all in it for the love and joy of sim racing, and we are having some great sim racing here today. This is something else. Back to this GT3 Championship battle. High Tree just staying with Erickson. He's just got to stay with him for 88 minutes, with 2 minutes to go, get in front of him, and they can take the championship for Team Flying Crowbar Racing. There we go. Meanwhile, down that stretch, Talvitier on Costas keeps looking to the inside. I'd be shocked if Talvitier does not have some flat spots after those power slide saves that he made. Now, there's a reason they usually race at night here at Bahrain, and that is due to the heat. So I don't know what's simulated here in the daytime, but these track temps could be ridiculously hot. Going to go for them. So there you have the Black Cat teammates are leading this race, Taylor and Westy. Unfortunate mishaps, but let's just see what happens as they start to catch the traffic again, which is about a couple turns away from a couple GT3 class. So we'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, at the end of that GT3 class, we still got these guys battling out. Batson and Jones having a really good fight here with Neil Wood and that Dr. Pepper livery, just holding his own just ahead of these guys. He has enough pace to keep them off of him. As you can see in the foreground there, here come the Protos. Is that Wenham back there? You can see there's Wenham, and here comes Taylor, Westy, and Cantasaurus. So Taylor's going to get through. Westy's going to get through. Let's see what happens with Talvitier and Cantasaurus here, as this GT3 car going to provide some action here. You can see Talvitier's got a little bit of fender damage there. As they get through, no incident. No harm, no foul. And Freddie Hell gets through as well just before that last turn. So nice job there by Stephen Winham. Let these guys through clean. We are all caught back up again, though. As you can see, this is how it goes. And we got Robin Taylor, Westy, Cantasaurus, GT3s. It's going to get messy. Where is Delvitier? So Taylor and Westy get through. The Dr. Pepper livery is there. Here comes Cantasaurus and Telvitier. They get through on the little mini straight. Telvitier trying to keep the pressure on. Remember, he did outpace him in quali, but it's a different animal in the race, as the top four are all within a couple of seconds now, keeping this tight battle. But we've got more GT3 drama ahead, as they're going to be closing in on the leaders here. WTA looking at the inside again. He's got the inside spot. He's going to take it right away from Cantasaurus. If he doesn't go wide, Cantasaurus trying to come back on the over-under. Telvitier maintains grip and retakes third place with a beautiful overtake there. Koss is not done, though. He's got something to say about it. As you get in this very tricky second one, especially this turn right here, where you got to really unweight the car to get in this turn and not throw yourself off the track. And he's looking to the inside. He's going to get the spot back. He goes to the outside. We've got traffic. We've got what in the heavens to Betsy? They're still battling. Telvitier comes out ahead and he goes by Ericsson. What happened to Hightree in all of this? Ericsson and Hightree with that battle. There is Granatovich right there in the row, BMW, as fourth place Costas gets through him. Here's Hightree back here. So, Hightree holding on to third place, so not bad. American Vandergeest now having a little tussle, as Westy and Taylor are having a tussle. These guys are getting through the GT3s. Let's jump back to this battle for the lead. It looks like 1, 2, 3 are all together here, so let's keep our focus on these guys. Oh, and he's kind of wide. Vandergeest gets it all wrong, but he maintains beautiful side protection. But then the corn-fed Randy American, he makes it through. He's looking for a way, and I don't know how Vandergeest saved that with Dentella right in front of him in the Ferrari. So the Porsche's sticking behind that Ferrari. Now Telvitier is back off track. Him and Westy going back and forth for second place. Who's going to be? And Telvitier comes out ahead of this battle. Good night. How do you keep up with this madness? All right, they're spreading out a little bit. They make it through the twisties. They're coming that sector 2. This is the very technical part of the track here. Let's see what's up. As they get to the hairpin, Merrick and Vandergeest right behind them. They're heading into that section as well. Good heavens. Technical part. Got to get this just right here. Wow. All right. Phew. There is the battle between the GT3s as they are all getting through. Hightree's. You can see there's he's probably very happy to see nobody in his rear view at this point in time as he keeps pace with Ericsson. Meanwhile, Jones putting the pressure on the Dr. Pepper team, Woody. Very nicely done. And the battle ensues with Van der Geest has now caught up to Mateo. Merrick just falling back a little bit. You can see Van der Geest closing in to make it through that turn 1 hairpin. Brakes aglow. That spreads out a little bit. Meanwhile, the GT3s. Here comes. Okay, that is the 11th place car. Mateo getting through the GT3s. He had that first lap. He says, okay, we got to let's tighten it up at the top again. It looks like Valvitier and Taylor have got a gap on Westy now, so Talvitier could be challenging here. As we're only 20 minutes into this 90-minute race. There's been so much action. I don't know how these guys are not going to need tires here after the first 30 minutes. Guys better. So Taylor protecting that inside line as Talvitier's got to take the outside. Is he going to try and go over under? He's looking for the way, but then it's a lefty right there, so that puts Taylor puts himself right in good position there to keep it going. Again, on the outside with pace. He's trying to go around the long way because that's going to set him up for this left lefty here if he gets pace, but not enough space. He wisely gives way as he got up to the sidewall there, and that allows Westy to catch back up. So now we've got all 4 cars back, and Westy takes the spot on that inside turn. Talvitier on Costasaurus. Oh no, it's all messed up for Tony. Does he have the damage? See if he can keep pace. He took, looks like he's got some damage. Oh, Tony. He's in trouble. Wow. With all that banging and bopping, I knew it was going to be hard. However, if he can keep it together without having to pit, keep an eye on him. Meanwhile, Merrick gets around Van der Geest. So yet another exchange. So the corn-fed gets through the SRO. And here is a battle for first. Teammates again, Black Cat Racing. Man, you can see Talvitier just coming around the corner of the top there. Most unfortunate with him and Costas. I wonder if Catasaurus has any damage as well. As Westy brakes aglow, getting through the GT3, the Ferrari. They're challenging on the outside. Freddie Hale now in 4th after Talvitier and Costas is contacted, and someone's going wide there. It looks like it's Jones. Jones gets pushed off a little bit there, just trying to avoid it. And then there's contact there with the Dr. Pepper team. And another contact. It's Neil Wood fending off Westy. Merrick now putting the pressure on Donatella. I do want to check out Costas, though, after that front-end damage. Let's get a driver's view of Costas. Doesn't appear to be suffering any wear and tear from that collision with Tony. Tony got the raw end of that deal. Let's check on his pace. Looks like he's staying out, so he's got enough. Yep, I don't see any bench steering. So I think he's okay. Wow. Crazy business going on there. No conquerors, only survivors at this point, and no DNFs for the first 23 minutes anyway. Meanwhile, High Tree staying with Ericsson. He's just got to hang with him. If he can somehow just stay with him and get around, he can take that championship for FKR away from Bad Boys Racing. This rivalry's been going on for decades between Flying Crowbar and Bad Voices. long time RF2 teams going at it as the leaders are coming through. There's the pick. Contosaurus. Oh, don't go to the inside there. Do not destroy the GT3 races, you guys. See, they're battling ahead and they clear through as Contosaurus. Oh my goodness. Meanwhile, Talviti, I think, is caught to the back of Freddie Hell. This is a pretty good gap. I want to make sure there's nothing happens. Okay, let's jump back to this. Just back. Oh, and Freddie goes up, and that's good. Talviti has taken that spot back, so he's up to fourth now after the mishap. I wonder if we can get a look at Talviti's car here. You can see the rippling and damage, but the maidens are still looking good. That beautiful Finland two-piece bikini. Where's what I want? Looking at all four corners here. There we go. So there's the side that got impacted. So I think he's okay. I actually think he's okay. And just ahead, the battle. So Contosaurus was actually challenging Westy for second there. We still haven't even reached the 1/3 mark yet. We are 25 minutes in. There's been 3 or 4 lead changes. Some knuckle biting moments. And a couple of code brown. And yet no DNFs, which is awesome at this point in the race. So kudos to the guys for hanging it in there. So meanwhile, Barrett keeping it tight. You can see Granatovich there is not running away with this race like he typically has for the first 5 rounds. Usually that BMW by now, 30 minutes, is out to a 5, 6, 7 point, lead, or second lead. But these 2 GT3 drivers, Eitri and Ericsson, have kept him in the ballpark. So that is good for everybody concerned. All right, as you can see LaBelle there in that beautiful Penske Porsche. Taking it in there, and Gil Silva now coming up on, I believe that is Ed Jones. Yep, that's Jones with Batson in front of him in the Ferrari. So De Silva getting through. Vandergeest probably taking a breather after the beatings that they all took there in that last couple minutes of the first third of this race. Barrick, I think, ended up being the best out of that group. Let's see what we got positions gained and lost here. As you can see, Barrick is up 2 spots. Contosaurus is up a spot. Westy's up a spot. Vandergeest is down 2, and Talvitier is down 2. So there is your result after the first 27 minutes of the race. All right. Things are at least at this particular point in time, things have calmed down a little bit. Taylor has stretched his legs. He's got this huge gap now, up to 5 seconds over Westy. And but pit stops are imminent. Just look back a little bit. Talvitier about 2 seconds back of the 3rd place Costas. So I believe Tony's on a mission at this point in time to get back to where he was. We know he has the pace as long as he doesn't have too much damage. If he doesn't have any downforce damage, as he's running over a couple of ground squirrels there. Nicely done there. Meanwhile, the gap Ericsson has to the leader. Keeping Granatovich in his sights. And then Eitri just back in that group. You can see there's a little bit of a gap between Eitri and Granatovich. So Mark's got to do some of that driver stuff and close that gap a little bit. And Ericsson doing a great job sticking with Granatovich, who has just dominated this series in the GT3 class. So this is some seriously good racing by Barrett Ericsson to stay with him. Meanwhile, Televitier has caught Costosaurus, and the battle will ensue. Tony just relentlessly back in this race, fighting his way to the podium, and finally we are about a minute and 20 seconds away from reaching the first third of this race complete. I can't believe there's still 61 minutes to go. Oh, my goodness. And the pit stops are to come too, so that's going to spread the field a little bit. You see the leaders just got through some of the GT3s, and now Tony and Costas are coming up on these as we have our first pit stop. There it is, as I was speaking. Westy pulls it in, so Westy will be our first taker for tires, as you see Talvitier getting through the Ferrari of Ollie Batson. That's going to move him up to third and Costas up to second. So the undercut perhaps by Westy on Taylor. Taylor's got that nice gap. He's pretty far out front now. He's got 6 seconds on Costas, so not sure what the routine pit stop time is going to be. But Westy's predicted to probably come out in about 8th or 9th. I think Vandergeest is going to get through him. Yeah, so there goes 9th. So that's going to put him in 10th. De Silva, he should come out in front of De Silva if he does indeed get out. Should be rolling out. So there he is. So Westy comes out in 9th, some 6 seconds behind 8th place. Meanwhile, 7 seconds and growing. As you can see the lead there. And I believe this is Televitier getting through the LaBelle in 11th there in that Penske Porsche. So the two Porsches here, blue flag and LaBelle, gentlemanly like moves over for that. Nicely done. Meanwhile, back towards the back, we got Batson and Ed Jones with a fierce battle here. Guys, GT3 of Smythe gets through and takes it wide. Smythe off in the dirt, but he's got the horsepower to stay in front. And Jones is coming in for his pit stop, so we got the first GT3 in the pits as well. So Jones going for the undercut, perhaps on Batson. See how that fades out as time goes through here, as the leaders are now getting through, second, third getting through. High Tree. No incident there. Next up will be Granatovich and Ericsson, as you can see, just ahead there. Taylor has already got through. So now it's Costas. Got to pick your spots here, you guys, on these nice, big, wide, high-speed turns at the end of Sector 2 there. Plenty of easy places to pass for these guys. So Televitier gets around Granatovich. And now the chase is on for Kantasaurus for that second place on the podium. Westy's going to be putting in some lap times now. Good fight here. I want to check on Westy. Westy's fastest lap was a 136.1. $135.4 is Taylor's fastest lap. Televitier, just endless pursuit. I can get that rear view. That's the one I want. There we go. There's Talvitier. So I wonder if that damage to Tony has hurt his top speed, because it appears that Catasaurus is be able to run away from him in the just on that particular lap anyway. Who knows? We won't know until the post-race. These guys are keeping it tight, as are Ericsson and Granatovich. So as the gap is under 2 seconds for second, third in this, and over here, Ericsson keeping the gap under 2 seconds with Granatovich. However, Hightree about 5 seconds back now, so falling behind a little bit. I want to get Westy's best. Where is the last lap time for Westy? 1:35. 9.3 was Westy last lap, so not too bad. He's coming out with fresh rubber. Meanwhile, the gap has grown to 8 seconds now, as Taylor seems to be running away with this. Let's take a look and see if we can see the tire compound. See what are they on? Yep, Taylor is indeed on the hards and Talvitier is on the mediums and still out. Westy's on soft, so Westy has changed. I don't know if he started with soft, so we didn't look, but he has come out with soft. So interesting to see if he can make up any ground here during the second stint. Again, he and one GT3 are the only ones that have pitted so far. That did bring Ed Jones out and last of the GT3s, but he's going to get that spot back as soon as the pit stops come underway. In fact, Westy now up on top of Costas. Costas must have pitted as well. Is it going to show me? This thing never works that good, but let's see. Yeah, Connosaurus did pit as well as Jones, and it doesn't show Westy's pit stop. However, he did. That's why I just don't trust this. But here they come, getting through Hightree. So the two cars that have pitted are nose to tail now with Costas and Westy. Some 3 or 4 tenths off of Westy's best lap versus Taylor's best lap, which was done in the first 10 minutes of the race. Uh-oh, yellow in sector 3. Who is it? Who is it? Is it Westy? No, we're watching Westy. Oh, it's the number 9. Vandergeest. Vandergeest is out. Oh, we missed it. Oh, Vandergeest, our first retirement. Most unfortunate to see him go out on the last race like that. But he did make it through the first 30 minutes. We did make the first little race with no retirement, so that was an accomplishment. Meanwhile, the gap now, almost 2 seconds between first and second. You can see Hightree in third place back there in the foreground. Hightree's got to stay with Ericsson. Maybe he can make up something in the pit stops. As Freddie Hell takes the scenic route from third place. Tony Talvitier in front of him. So Tony, when he does pit, I wonder if he's going to repair any damage, if he's just going to go for fuel and tires. But he's currently in second behind Taylor after the pit stops. Oh, it's really sad to see Vandergeest out. Meanwhile, in the mid-pack here, we got a little bit of racing going as Westy's trying to make his way back through this field. Have already pitted, is really, really putting the screws to it here as he's coming up on the Ferrari of Dentella. Matteo trying to defend, but on old tires, I don't think he's going to stand a chance. Catasaurus is looking to get around. Both Catasaurus and Westy on fresh tires. So after the pit stops, these guys could be in first, second, third. We don't know. But now the pits are being taken. Hell and Smythe are both in the pits as well. So, and Matteo. There's a collision. Westy and Matteo, another collision. These guys are banging some fenders, man. And now they're coming up on traffic. What is going to happen? The three of these guys that were battling at the top are now battling the mid-pack amidst the pit stops. And I believe Donatella in the Ferrari has not pitted. Smythe is in the pits. As they're getting through that, Stefan's in the, yep, that is Stefan in the Audi. They're getting through. The Westy comes out the winner in that battle. It gets around Donatella and Costas and now finds himself in fourth place behind Merrick with some kind of a gap to Merrick. Let's see what that gap might be. 9 seconds to make up for Merrick, who is yet to pit. Westy on fresh rubber making his way through the field, as is Catasaurus. And I think Catasaurus has yet to get around Donatella. See what happens there. Putting a little pressure. Guys, they've got some GT3s to get through, I believe. One, two, three, four. Look at the gap. Holy smokes. The gap between Taylor and Talvitier is almost 8 seconds now. And neither one of these guys have pitted yet. Merrick in third place. We've got the lap car of LaBelle, I believe, is who Tony Talvitier. No, okay, they're coming in. So here they come now. The call is out. That's Gills. That looks like, is that De Silva right there as well? I believe De Silva and them. So they're all in the pits now. Talvitier splashing and dashing. Taylor splashing and dashing. Things are going to move around here. Here comes Catasaurus and Westy. This is going to put Westy in the lead. If he can catch up. Still coming out. He's got a sector to go, so I don't know. Is this going to pay off? They could be really, really tight. Let's keep an eye on this as he takes a little bit of dirt as they're coming through sector 3. First place is not moving out of the pits. It looks like third place. Merrick is going to come in as well. So Merrick is coming in. Westy's going to get through. And Westy's taking the lead and has taken the lead of this race. Taylor is rolling, so they're going to come out. Who else is going to get through? Mateo gets through, and Costas gets through. So Taylor gets out into fourth place. Westy is our new leader, with Gentella in second, Catasaurus in third. Where is Tony? Is Tony out yet? Tony is out. So it looks like no serious repair for Tony, just fuel and tires. So they are bunched up once again with leader, now a new leader, Westy out front. And Matteo Donatella right there with him, getting pressured by Costas. So, holy smokes, get prepared for another 30 minutes of white knuckle Barrett. Closed in on Kurtanovic. I stopped mid-sentence there because I saw that this was a tight little battle here. So he just got back up. Hightree still maintaining that third position. But he's going to have to get his race gear on here to catch up to these two. But Barrett is hanging with them. Very good job. Meanwhile, back here at the lead, we have some challenges going on here. It looks like Catasaurus is trying to get around that Ferrari. As the sun is beginning to set, you can see the long shadows. I think we're going to go into nighttime for this race. So, meanwhile, look at this battle. This is for second place. What's the gap to Westy? Westy's got 5 seconds on Dentella, and Dentella and Canizares are bumper to bumper, and you can see Taylor and Talvitier. Oh, Talvitier's coming back in. Tony, don't tell me he got a drive-through. Good heavens. Add insult to injury. Tony has the worst luck. Nope, it's a stop. Is it a stop and go, or did he have to repair something? Maybe his tires didn't get changed. We don't know. But meanwhile, this is going to put Tony way back in the field. He's out. It looked like it might have been a stop and go. He's going to come out. He's going to maintain 6th. Yes, he's going to come out in 6th place, but we've got 7th place Smythe, not too far behind, but oh man, most unfortunate for Tony. If it wasn't for bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. The headlights are coming on, the sun is going down. As Westy coming up on some traffic now. There is your leader. Let's see what's ahead of him. GT3. Luckily, caught him in a great place to pass us. This is the battle for 1st and 2nd for GT3. With Ericsson having a brilliant race, hanging with that leader, which nobody's done in 5 rounds. It hasn't really been very close. At times it's been close. We got more guys coming in for the pits. More pits being taken. LaBelle's coming in. LaBelle is in. Who else is in? Donatella is finally in. So that's going to open the door for Taylor to be back on the podium. And he's only a couple of seconds behind Costas. He's getting through. Is Taylor. Getting through Ericsson, and now Granatovich. No harm, no foul, so they got through those guys fairly easily enough. Westy out front by 9 seconds now over Costas, so holy smokes. Let's see where Dentella comes out. He is coming out. It looks like Smythe is going to get in front of him. He should be rolling. And here he comes now. And he is, who is that on fire behind him? Is that LaBelle? LaBelle, a little overheat there. I think this was just due to him sitting in the pits. He probably had some repair to do, so you can see he is definitely smoking and overheating there. But let's see if that cools down here as the air gets across that radiator. As you can see, it's subsided. So that was just, well, maybe not. He is definitely overheating. And it's going away now. So yeah, get some of that nice hot 70 degrees Celsius desert air over that engine as the lights are coming on. All right, Costas. Just a couple seconds ahead of Taylor, who we know has pace, and he does have fresh rubber. Both of these guys on pit stops. So you can see the difference there. And I believe they're coming up on Jones there just ahead. So there is Ed Jones in the GT3. About to get a mirror full of prototype. Oh, and it sends him into a tizzy. Didn't look like any contact, but that's most unfortunate for Jones. It's just a little bit of air off the wing, probably. No harm, no foul, though. He is out there. And meanwhile, these guys are duking it out here for 2nd place as Taylor is now applying the pressure to Costas. Meanwhile, Talvitier has regained 5th. So was that due to the pit stop of Smythe? I don't know how that happened, but Freddie Howell in 4th. 12 seconds back. How far back is Talvitier? Got a gap. Oh, back to this battle. Where are they battling? 2nd and 3rd. Taylor's looking for a way, He's going to the inside. He's got the inside position. He's going to take second away, and they're going to kiss. Just the apex being on the inside puts Taylor back in second place, but they've got a mission ahead of Westy. Not going to show me. I wish this was a little bit more accurate. Talvite's got his 2 stops. It's showing Westy with no stops. But he's got 11-second lead over Taylor, who's coming on strong. He's got Dezoris hanging with him. Meanwhile, High Tree, Doc down in the 5th place. Did we miss a pit stop by High Tree? Let me see. Did it show him as pitted? Jones is pitted. I'm not sure if I don't trust it because we obviously watch drivers pit and it shows them as 0 stops, so I just can't trust it. But anyway, this is not good for High Tree. Oh, who's that? That looks like, is that Smythe? No, it's going to be Hell. Freddie Hell having trouble. What's going on with Freddie? Looks like he's got some serious flat spots according to the shaky wheel. No, he just had a little bit of a moment there. He went off. That's going to let Talvite close in a little bit on him. See, he's having trouble. Has he even pitted yet? Maybe he's on old rubber because here comes Talvite. Like a shark in the water, he smells blood. He is going to close in on the struggling Freddie Hell. And I believe that's De Silva behind Talvite there in that chrome. Yeah, that is De Silva. So he's a lap down, I believe. Meanwhile, lights are coming on, sun's going down. If Talvite's trying to work his way back up this podium and at least get to 4th. He's having his struggles as well. But Freddie definitely had some issues there as we saw him in that Sector 2 hairpin. It looked like he kissed the wall there for a minute. Meanwhile, let's check on Taylor and Costas. They've bunched it up a little bit, but not too much. So back to this battle. They're picking around High Tree. Talvite all over Hell now. Smells blood in the water, and here he comes. How much pressure can Hell take? Steve Batson getting out of the way against some dirt. Okay, this is it. Battle for 4th as they're coming down the main straight. See what Tony's got. He's in the trap. It looks like he's going to get it. And Freddie. Not giving it up so easy, but very clean. As the lights are coming on, everybody. Lights are coming on. As you get the 3rd place, Neil Wood now in 3rd place in that Dr. Pepper in GT3. So he's having a great race as Neil. These guys blast through now that the lights are on. Got 37 minutes remaining. We're over halfway, just over halfway. So Talvite back in the 4th with the gap to Costas. Costas and Taylor keep staying right with Taylor in 3rd. Westy's way out. Let's see what Westy. 11 seconds. It has come down, though. It has come down a little bit. Meanwhile, Ericsson in the GT3 staying with Granatovich. Looking pretty good for the foot-sniffing pig. racing of the Bad Voices Racing team to take the team championship if it ends just like this. High Tree's got to get on his horse. Oh, and that beautiful sun coming through as Taylor gets around. Here comes Contosaurus. Costas getting around. Allows Ericsson to close up there. A little bit of fancy driving there. I don't think either one of these guys have pitted. On what? They're both on mediums. So enough. So they duke it out. Ericsson right there with Roman. Nicely done. Looking around, this is the tightest battle on track. We do have 14th and 15th, Batson and High Tree. He's got to come in a second to get up to 4th. He's going to need to do some of that driver stuff like I keep saying. We can get around Batson. All right, from the top down, we have your LMH leader, Westy's coming up on this group here, coming up on the 4th and 5th place. Excuse me, of the GT3s. Westy maintaining that 11-second gap over his teammate, Taylor. He's been back here battling it out with Costas, but meanwhile, Westy getting through the GT3s as High Tree is all over Batson. As Austin takes on the Ferrari. The GT3 gets to go to the inside. On the inside, he's on the outside, and he gets the spot. At this point in time, it looks like High Tree's going to take that spot. Dips a toe in the sand and comes away in 4th place, so nicely done. Bathman has something to say about it, though. Coming back on him. Heading down the main straight, the High Tree's got a pretty good gap. And Batson is going to pit. So Batson coming into the pits after that. That's all it took. He said, get around me, I'm pitting. So here goes that. Meanwhile, Contosaurus and these guys coming up on the GT3 pack here. Contosaurus currently in 3rd, some 5 seconds back at Taylor, who's 11 seconds back at Westy. Talvidier now with the stop and go. Some half a minute back, so kind of spoiled his chances there, which is most unfortunate as he's just got through these guys. You never know what's going to happen though, as more drivers are coming in. No, they're not pitting. All right, it looked like he was going to pull in though. But that is Contosaurus back there. Merrick currently in 8th. Driving traffic free, Freddie Hell. Taylor's got through the Dr. Pepper 4th place car in the GT3 class. That gap just seems to hover between 11 and 12 seconds Westy has over the pack. Contosaurus now some 6 or 7 seconds back. So things are spreading out here for the last 30 minutes of this race. I don't know who's going to make it to the end without having to stop. Be Woody there. And then High Tree with Stefan Wenham between High Tree and Woody, a lap down. Mark probably catch him on the next straight. Wenham's holding it steady. It's a very consistent race for Stefan, keeping it clean. Just a little off pace, but keeping it clean nonetheless. Oh, High Tree has a little bit of an issue there, but Stefan's giving him the inside, and High Tree gets around the lap car. Meanwhile, Freddie Hell coming in, so he's pitting. So Freddie pits. Conosaurus. How's this going to move everybody around? It doesn't look like anybody's going to move. Freddie pitting from 6th place. That's going to give Matteo that spot. Mateo's coming through the GT3s. Merrick right on his tail. Ericsson and Granatovich give way to the faster class. So Merrick's is on a mission here to catch up to Matteo. See if he can do any damage. But as we are finally into the last third of this race, 60 minutes in, 30 to go. Whew, let's hold on to see what's going to unfold. Still just the one DNF today. Now we got 2. LaBelle is out. So 2 of the hypercars now out. So Michael LaBelle has called it a day. That was probably him that we saw the yellow. So meanwhile, Telvitier has closed that gap a little bit, but Smythe is some 16 seconds ahead. Conosaurus 6 seconds behind Taylor. So you can see Talvite still with that 36 seconds to the podium. So if Tony can make it without a pit stop, and either Taylor or Conosaurus need to stop again, there is an opportunity for Tony to take a spot on the podium. So we'll keep our eyes on that. High Tree back. Mike making his way through the 4th place car of High Tree. So good. Again, some excellent driving by Neil Wood. Finds himself on the podium yet again in his GT3. So steady lays the course for Neil Wood in his GT3. Audi making it through this final round, finding himself on the podium as he sits now. So a nice run by him. Meanwhile, Merrick and Dantella are duking it out for 6th place. Dantella and the Ferrari get pushed by the Porsche. Battle ensues. Now the 7th place Stefan Wenham going to come into play here, and that's going to throw Dantella around. He just got it all wrong and has put himself off, and that's going to give Merrick that spot, and he's losing it again. So hot tires, perhaps. I didn't see anything other than maybe the air got taken off of its wing trying to make the GT3 pack. Just one of those racing incidents that you just have to brace yourself for. I noticed a lot of these protos are really having some loose rear ends as they're coming out of these turns. But everybody's slipping and sliding. Merrick now is coming up on the 4th place High Tree, who gets around with no incident. But man, that was really unfortunate back there for Wenham. There's Bateson, 6th. Jones in 5th ahead of him. And we've got Talvitier coming up. Got a huge gap back to Smythe, does Talvitier. So he's assured a 4th position with 26 minutes left if he can just maintain this. However, if any of the top 3 have a pit stop, this could put Talvitier back on the podium after his tough incidences that he had. Cost is hanging within 3 seconds as they're going around Wyndham now. Keeping that gap under 5 seconds to Taylor. Meanwhile, the gap here as Talvitier is coming up on the 2nd place car of Barrett Erickson. Let me mix up the letters a little bit there for you. Talvitier now passing the leader, Ganadovic. Getting around as these guys are still fighting it out. You know, Erickson hanging. Oh, Talvitier scrubbing his tires there. The gap back to Smythe is some 16, 17 seconds for Tony. And then back to Merrick. Holding on to that 6th spot with Dentella some 5 seconds back of him. So as we speak, not a lot of tight racing as Westy makes his way through these guys. Westy's about to lap Merrick, and Merrick is not going to be too keen on that, so I would suppose he would not be willing to just let him drive by, but he's going to have to earn it. Merrick does not want to go a lap down. But I think it's inevitable. He lets him through. Nicely done. And then goes to Silva next. Oh, De Silva gets a kiss from the leader, Westy. And Merrick also gets around to Silva, who is bringing up the tail end of the prototypes. Keeping it alive, though. Skin looks pretty good. Meanwhile, we do have a battle now here for that 3rd place. We got Woody and High Tree battling out. High Tree's going to look for the inside, but think twice about it. And regain himself for the lap that ensues as they start a lap here with 23 minutes to go. So I don't know if what happened with Woody, if he had a little bit of a moment or if it was a pit stop. We'll never know. But needless to say, 3rd place is up for grabs. High Tree. Now Austin going up against the Audi. This is the only race for position that's within a couple seconds at this time on track. So let's see if Woody can negotiate through this really technical part here, this tightest hairpin on the track right here. Get through, and they both get through nicely with a good exit. Looks like Hyphy's got some exit speed. Woody's really good at defending though, so I wouldn't bet on him letting him through easily here. High Tree trying to find the inside. Another sad news, Talvitier finds himself out of this race. Our 3rd DNF is going to be Tony Talvitier. There's probably too much to make up. He was looking pretty good for a 4th place spot, but we don't know what happened. Meanwhile, High Tree's got a chance here in the draft. Now it's kicking in. It's a little bit too late, though. Have to live for another lap as they go through once again. That was a pretty tight battle that entire lap. Battling for position. So meanwhile, Taylor, you can see, is taking bites out of Westy's lead. He was about 6/10 faster on that last lap. As we watch High Tree try and get his way onto the podium here. As you can also see by the timing there that Granadovic is now some 30 seconds ahead of Ericsson. So I think Ericsson might have pitted. That looks like the difference about a pit stop. Let's see if the untrustworthy number of pits will come. Yeah, it does show him pitting. So I am going to say that that's the difference there. If Granadovic can make it all the way around without pitting for the last 20 minutes. As High Tree's looking for a spot, Neil goes a little bit wide. He's going to open the door. High Tree's looking side by side. He's got to the rear end there. He did get a front tire up on Neil's rear tire, but that was about it. You have a great battle for the podium here. Oh. And I think that's Tony Talvitier joining us in the booth here. He'll have to unmute his microphone. High Tree taking a look again as they come down yet for another lap. Let's get inside the cockpit with Mark. Just can't seem to close it up tight enough to go for it. As Wood is just defending beautifully. It's going to take a mistake, I think, here for High Tree to get around him. He's looking for it here. Heading up into the turn 4 and 5 section. Oh, got a little bit of lag there.
I know a guy who would have a dive bomb. But
Tony, what happened?
I was so pissed at the start because of all the contacts that it happens that my whiskey bottle is empty, so I decided to park it.
Your whiskey bottle?
Yeah, whole bottle, it's empty. So I was 2 seconds off my pace.
Yeah, you got a pretty rough go. That was some really, really tough fighting there in the beginning. Holy smokes. It was banging fenders left and right. High Tree's looking for a gap here, though. I don't know if you're still watching the race, but High Tree is battling Neil Wood for third place in the GT3s. It's the only battle, really, that's within a second on the track right now. But we got a prototype going through, and it is, I believe it's Donatella, and the Porsche gets through. So that kind of broke up that battle. They were bumper to bumper, but the prototype has just goes in and out. We got another one. Da Silva's going around him now. They're on the straight, so nice easy spot. And High Tree has got back to the bumper at Neil Wood. So it's quite the battle here in the GT3, and it is a battle for team championship between Ericsson and High Tree, but Ericsson holding on to second place. But I don't think Granadovic has even pitted because Ericsson was right with him the whole race, and now he's got a 30-second gap. So I think Ericsson has done a pit stop. As High Tree's looking to tag him, it looks like he's got the spot into turn 1. High Tree takes that podium away from Neil Wood. If he can keep it together in that Kansas City Chiefs livery, puts High Tree back on the podium in third place. And now Woody's on the charge. So let's see if Wood has anything for him. As you can see, the moon up there is the end of the night. Wow. But yeah, getting back to Tony's incidents, man, this is like, you have had nothing but bad luck. I mean, I think it's the Maidens of Finland kept you alive. But yeah, it came down to if you're out of whiskey, I mean, what left is there to race for?
Yeah, I was so pissed off that at the pits, I filled my glass and, it's empty now. God damn it. And I was 2 seconds off the pace, so I figured, it's
Yeah, you had a rough go. I was wondering after the T-bone from you and Connosaurus, I believe when he went sideways, probably midway through that first stint, right into Sector 2 there, you went sideways and got broadsided by Connosaurus. I didn't know how much damage that gave you, but it looked like that. Yeah.
The damage wasn't there. It was just a little dent, so
okay.
To repair. And battle with Costas was it was that tight right-hander, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he got me by the surprise on the outside, and we touched a little, nothing more.
Yeah, it was really, really exciting. Let's jump up to these protos here for a minute, because now coming out of the pits is Mike. He's coming out in 5th position, and I don't know if his teammate Freddie is a little bit too far behind to make up any time. Merrick in 4th place now, getting through the GT3. And it looks like Ericsson is back to that 3-second gap. So Roman did his pit stop. That's what happened. So Grutanovic comes out still in the lead, but instead of 30 seconds, he's got a 3-second lead now over Ericsson, and some fresh rubber for the last 15 minutes of this race. So let me see if this tire thing will work. And I bet you he's on softs. Nope, he came back out on the mediums. So both him and Ericsson are both on mediums. But Grutanovic will be on the fresher tire. So pretty much seals his fate there, as Dr. Pepper had to pit. So Neil came in, and that put Hightree back on the podium with a nice gap to about 20 seconds back. So it looks as if it finishes this way that Flying Crowbar is going to miss the championship by a handful of points unless he can somehow get around Ericsson, but that's not going to happen with Ericsson having a 37-second lead on him. So Ericsson's going to have an off for that to happen. So the last 14 minutes of this race, if it stays as it is, which I believe it probably will, because there's no really challenges. Merrick in the pits now, as you can see. So he's going to give that spot up to teammate Smythe, who takes 5th away from Merrick. And what about Freddie? Freddie's just a little bit too far back. 39 seconds. So meanwhile, Taylor has closed that gap to about 13 seconds on the lead. But Westy running away from this race after that first stint of battle where everybody had a shot at the lead there in that first stint. I think everybody led at least half a lap for a point in time out of the top 4. And Tony, you yourself included there, had the lead for a minute. But man,
I don't want to say it, but I think everybody were trying to avoid Westy's dive-bombs. Sorry.
Yeah, he was on hell-bent on a mission. And then Taylor, his teammate, is right there, some 13 seconds back. And then Contosaurus here, he's another 24 seconds back of 2nd place. So not much to do there for the Protos. They are spread out, and I think the finishing order is set here if they can survive this last 13 minutes. So it's going to be up to the race guys to see if he can finish without incident.
So what is between Granatovich and Ericsson? Did they change tires? Did they have same pit stops?
Yeah, Granatovich and Ericsson, the gap is 3 seconds now. But it was a good 3 or 4 laps difference between the pit stops. So I mean, actually probably more than that. Granatovich waited until the bitter end and pitted. He had 30 seconds on him at the pit stop, 30 plus seconds, and now his gap is actually just increased on that lap, probably due to Ericsson's got a little bit more tire wear than does Granatovich, as he's on fresh rubber now. So I'm watching now the gap. There's we got a proto of Merrick, and then Ollie Bateson, who's a lap down, separating between Ericsson and Granatovich. So Hivetree's some 38 seconds back of Ericsson, and Ericsson's now 4 seconds back up first. So Heitre is in third, but barring an incident from Ericsson, this is the way it's going to stay. So, and he only needs 1 point. The team championship is separated by 1 point between Bad Voices Racing and SKR. So without
did Vesti have 2 stops already?
I don't know. I don't trust this thing. It won't really tell me the number of stops. It does say that Taylor had 2 stops. Everybody else is showing as 1.
Vesti pitted at 35 minutes, after 35 minutes, so he was an early stopper.
Yeah, so he might have 2. The software just, it lies all the time, so you can't trust it. I mean, I'll watch somebody go into the pits, and then I'll pick up the pit stop count, and it'll say that they have 0 stops still when we all watched him pit. So, yeah.
Where's John?
John Vandergeest? He's out. We have 3 DNFs. You, yeah.
It's gear team, best team.
Yes.
In the world, but we never finish.
Yeah, no balls, no glory, though. It was really exciting racing to watch. So that part was really fun. That first stint was intense, man. It was everybody. It wasn't just you guys. It was all back through the mid-pack. It was back in the GT3s. Everybody was battling.
I was so pissed, man.
Yeah, there was some contact going on. It was something to behold. There's Heitre. I'm trying to see where these guys are. Okay, first place is coming now up on the GT3s, getting around the Dr. Pepper livery of Neil Wood. Finds himself in 4th place. Granadjevic's gap grows about a second a lap. It's up to 5 now. As we are under 10 minutes remaining. Taylor now getting through the traffic. Westy maintaining that gap of about 13 seconds on Taylor, so seems to be able to hold his own there with the lap times. Robin Wood, he was taking some chunks out of it for a lap or 2, but Westy's pulled back out that 13-second gap, almost 14 now. And Matteo in the Ferrari, he's got 17 seconds on Smythe. Where is Costas? Yeah, he's like 26 seconds back up second, but he is on the podium. So Costas finish with a podium here as he's now going around the leader of the GT3 is Granadovic. Ericsson here. 6 seconds gap back now. And then Heitre, of course, 31 seconds back. So it's going to take some kind of a off by Ericsson to blow his championship win for the Bad Voices Racing. And then Westy and Taylor are going to take first and second to assure their victory for not only the team Black Cat Racing, but their individual racing. Westy, I think, can take it for the victory here today.
Did they dash and splash the hypers already?
Let's see, Gratanovic, let's see, Taylor.
Dentela is 1 stopper. Top 3 is gonna need a dash and splash, I think.
Yes, I think you're right. As he goes around, it's the way Westy was in the lead with the points anyway. He had 3 points over Taylor. So it's going to finish in the order they are now, I think, for the championship. But and then third was Matej, and Matej isn't even racing today, so he missed today. And he had 24 points over Freddie Hell, so I don't think it's going to make a difference. But yes, now he's pitting now. Who is that pitting? The Protos are pitting. It is De Silva coming in again. So he needs a splash and dash. Costas holding on to 3rd place. And Taylor getting around Merrick. Merrick in 6th place, so the 6th place car has been lapped by the 2nd place car in Protos. See any other tight battles? Second, six. Got Ollie, the Ferrari, let the other Ferrari through. So Donatella gets through the Ferrari. And oh, little side step. Oh, there was a point in the race where you had a beautiful save when you were drifting through a couple of turns and you almost lost it, but you pulled it off and you didn't lose a position. That was in the first like 10 minutes, I think. That was something to watch. All right, let's see what we got going on here. There is your GT3 leader as the Ferrari gets through. Granatovic and Ericsson should be right there behind him. So the gap continues to grow from Granatovic, who's just dominated this entire series in the GT3. He's now 7 seconds out front. And Heitre's almost 40 seconds back of Ericsson. So with just over 5 minutes left, unless something drastic changes, this is how it's going to end. Heitre, let's see, where is Freddie? There is Stefan Winham. Slow but steady, bringing up the rear. Ed Jones, the other foot-sniffing pig, has had a pretty good race. He's in 5th place. Got about 9 seconds to make up to catch Neil Wood, who's in 4th place. But you can see the damage on Jones's car there, the rear end. So he got hit by somebody. Meanwhile, from the bottom up there is De Silva, currently in 8th. The lap down from Freddie Hell, just holds on to 7th place. And Randy Merrick in 6th, teammate. So Smythe, Merrick, and Hell, all teammates, hold the 5th, 6th, and 7th position for MRG Racing. Granatovic finally gets out of the way. And you can see the gap there between Ericsson and Granatovic, first place GT3 cars. They take turn 1 again with just 4 minutes remaining. Keep going up the line here. Westy just dominating this last sector, or last stint rather. Although Taylor has got it down to 11 seconds now. Westy probably taking it easy as we are approaching the 3-minute mark. Costas by himself, Taylor getting through Granatovic. That's Merrick not right there as well in 6th place. The lap down to the Proto class. There is your leader, Westy. Like he'll be coming up on Neil Wood. 4th position. And then they have the 7th place car of Stefan Winham next in line to let the Protos by. And there goes Westy through Woody. I believe is that Smythe is right back there too in 5th place. The gaps are so huge between the places now that they're just going around. second place car. Taylor now be closing in on the Dr. Pepper GT3. The gap is 9 with a minute and 40 seconds left. So it's not going to be a photo finish, but it's going to be a finish nonetheless for this 6th and final round of this WRC Championship here at Sim Racing Online. Really exciting stuff happening here in the first half of this race as they've settled down to a battle for survival now. 2 conquerors and the rest are survivors as Granatovich and Westy look like they're going to take the championships. As we hit the 1 minute mark, Westy will be starting the last lap right now as he crosses the start finish to begin this last lap of this final round. 60 seconds to go. So there is first place Westy, second place Taylor crosses the line, 10 seconds back. And then 30 seconds behind them is Costas, who's just rounding out the last sector. And then behind him, Donatella and the Ferrari getting around High Tree, who's going to have that third place finish some 40 seconds back of second place Ericsson. And then we have Smythe going to take 5th place with teammate Merrick, and 6th getting around Wyndham, and 7th place Freddie Held. MRG teammates getting through the leader Granatovich, starting his last lap. Have a look at him. See, Ericsson's just a couple seconds back now. If he's got anything for him on the last lap, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I followed Ericsson and Granatovich whole race, and I was wondering what the hell is going on.
Yeah. The last laps are underway. Where is Westy? He is coming around the final turn for the final time, and he's about to take the checkered flag as he gets around Valley Bats on the Ferrari, the GT3. So there is your winner, Nick Westy, taking the championship and the team championship. Right behind him is Robin Taylor in 2nd place. High Tree getting 3rd overall in the GT3. Costas still coming around. He's about half a lap back, maybe a little bit less, bringing up his 3rd place finish.
Well done, Costas.
Yeah, good job by Costas. Had a very steady race, a really steady series too. He had a really good drive. Maintained.
Yeah, he had pace today also.
Yeah, good job by him. As he's going to take 3rd place, taking the checker as we speak. There he goes. And that's going to put Matteo in 4th as he moved from the GT3 to the prototypes from the last 2 races. Did Matteo. He's a half a lap back. Him and Smythe are back in the field. Let's see where Granatovich is. So this is still a battle for the lead as it's under 2 seconds now. As Ericsson giving it one last effort to close in.
What, are they still racing?
Yep, and they're going to cross the line with an under 2 second gap, first and second for GT3. And there is your GT3 winner and championship, Roman Granatovich. Ericsson taking 2nd place.
Somebody tell Ericsson, if you don't dive bomb, you don't win.
Okay, that puts High Tree in 3rd, William 4th. These guys are still finishing up. Those guys are in the pit, and there is your 5th place car, Smythe. Well done, gentlemen. And teammate Randy Merrick is in. Who's left on track? It looks like that's it. Jones is still out there finishing up his lap. Nope, he's done. All right. There is Costas taking a cool down lap. As is Westy. They're all done. It looks like that's it. Ah, yeah, Donatella in the Ferrari. So there you have it. What a race. What a series. Let's check the session result. Let's see what we got here. There it is. There is your winner, Nick Westy. Second place, Taylor. Third place, Contasaurus. Fourth place, Donatella after 56 laps. And then a lap down is Jacob Smythe in fifth. 55 laps. And Randy Merrick in sixth. Freddie Hell in seventh. All MRG teammates finishing fifth, sixth, and seventh. Then Gil Seven with an eighth place finish. 54 laps in. And then down in the GT3s, we have Ganatovich at 46 laps in first place. Barrett Erickson finishing second in the GT3s.
Nice drive.
Yeah, where's my next page? Here it is. Oh, I hit the wrong next page. There it goes. And then High Tree finishing third, just missing out on the championship by a few points. Neil Woody with a fourth place finish. Good drive by him. Ed Jones, Mr. Consistent, finishes in his, fifth place. All right. And then Batson and Winham. And then the DNFs starting with Tony Talvitier. The DNF getting 16th, I think, overall. And LaBelle.
I didn't DNF. I just quit.
Yeah. Okay. It was the whiskey is what did it. It was the.
Yeah, it was better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah. If your flask is empty, there's no sense in finishing after all the abuse you took. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the race of the series, round 6, final round. I think it's going to end up how it was in the finishing order. I think this is how it's going to finish, too, in the championship with these drivers. So we shall see. One lone driver out there, Ollie, finishing up in his Ferrari. And that was a hell of a race. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. It was a blast broadcasting this race. Lots of action, lots of nail biting, lots of pissed off drivers. But in the end, we're all still friends. Nothing really gets hurt except your feelings in sim racing. So with that, I'm going to sign off and bid you adieu and hope you to tune in to the next series, which will be starting up after the new year. So thanks for hanging in, and we will see you on the next one.
Yeah, thanks, Rob.